What's going on, y'all? Forward Fabian. We are back with a video, man. We're doing a reaction to some TikToks, man. Let's go ahead and hop into the video. Let me know y'all's thoughts on these in the comment section below. Check out my playlist as well, man. Peace, love, prosperity. Let's get it.
This is the scary story about Christmas morning. It was Christmas Eve, and a girl named Jessica was in bed. She couldn't fall asleep because she was so excited for Christmas. As she laid in her bed, she heard a noise downstairs. Thinking it might be Santa, Jessica tiptoed out of bed and went downstairs. When she got downstairs, she saw Santa, or so she thought. Jessica said, "Santa, is that you?" But when Santa turned around, Jessica noticed that it was just a random guy dressed as Santa. But before she had time to do anything, the man jumped on Jessica. The next morning, Jessica's parents woke up and went downstairs. They then went into the living room and froze in horror at what they saw. They saw Jessica's severed head on the top of the tree, and her headless body was on the floor, wrapped in wrapping paper, with a note next to it that said, "We had a lot of fun last night. I'll be back next year."
Oh, wow. Imagine if that was a true story. Imagine. Crazy work. What's supposed to be the most joyous day of the year, supposedly, right? What's supposed to be all holiday-like and wondrous turns out to be the worst day of your life. And he said he's coming back next year. Oh, no.
This is the creepy story about the ghost party. So there's this 12-year-old boy who woke up in the middle of the night. He got up and he wanted to use the bathroom. When he got there, he heard something like a party going on downstairs. You know, laughter, music, and even the sound of glasses being knocked together for a toast. So he decided to check what was going on. He went downstairs, he opened the door, and it was completely dark. You could hear the silence, even the TV was off. Years had passed until he mentioned that to his dad, who also heard the same thing. Turns out there used to be a small public bar in their home, which was 150 years old, and as it seems, everyone was still there.
Here's a terrifying one-sentence horror story. "Please, Mommy, let us in," they screamed desperately outside of the house. Meanwhile, inside of the house, the mother called the police, wondering why these old men were wearing the faces of her dead children.
Normal looking photos that have a
She kind of had the same response or reaction I had. The heck?
disturbing backstory. When you first see this photo, you may not think much of it. The young guy in the photo looks pretty normal. But this is actually 17-year-old Jeff Franklin in the back of a police car. This photo was taken immediately after he was arrested for brutally beating his parents to death with a sledgehammer. He also critically wounded 3 of his younger siblings. This picture at a beach looks like your average vacation photo.
This picture just looked like he enjoyed it. Like he just loved every bit of it. He's excited. It was fun. It was a thrill to him. Look at his face, dude. Heck nah. Heck nah. That's the true sign of a serial killer or a psychopath.
This picture at a beach looks like your average vacation photo. But this image was found on the lost camera of 2 people who were swept away by a tsunami moments after this picture was taken, meaning that everybody in this photo died just minutes later.
Murderers who are walking free today. Pedro Lopez. Lopez was sentenced for the rape and murder of 110 girls, but he'd claimed to do this to more than 300. In his early years, he did some time for stealing cars, but quickly moved to murder. By 1978, he'd killed more than 100 girls. Between the ages of 6 and 12, where he'd lure them from markets. But Lopez would only serve 14 years of his 16 years for this. And when released, he moved to Colombia and then Ecuador, where he was killing 3 girls a week. He'd later be put into a psychiatric hospital, but only served 3 years. Because in 1998, he was declared sane and released on a $50 bail. And after his release, he disappeared. And although he claimed to rape and murder more than 300 girls...
He disappeared, though. That's a bad sign. Because that means he's doing this like under the radar. Or went to Mexico and some of these places where his track... Well, maybe his track record would then disappear, so to speak, but he wouldn't be able to be tracked as closely is what I'm getting at. Dude disappeared after he was released.
Would later believe his confessions after a mass grave was uncovered with flash floods. As of 2020, police still don't know his whereabouts.
Here's a terrifying one-sentence horror story. You hear your mom calling you into the kitchen, but as you head downstairs, you hear a voice in the closet say, "Don't go down there, honey. I heard it too."
The Terrifier.
Let this be a reminder, we never actually know who our neighbors are. Born in Newcastle, England to a prostitute 14-year-old mother, Mary Bell was the constant victim of abuse as a child. One day before her 11th birthday,
Oh wow.
constant victim.
You can go like you can immediately tell the development and the transitioning, right? Innocent, you know, child, not a Carol warrior. You can just tell by the facial expression. So innocent, so soft, right?
Victim of abuse as a
But
child.
then now it's just like traumatized. Her eyes say it all, man. Her eyes say it all. Crazy work.
One day,
She looked like she's seen it all. She's got the 1,000-yard stare, whatever they call that. You know that stare that they say war vets have, or like during their time in battle and in war, that they tend to have after they return, like the
before her
1,000-yard
11th
stare.
birthday, Mary strangled Martin Brown, a 4-year-old boy in her local neighborhood. Then she meets up with her friend Norma Joyce. They break in and vandalize a local nursery and then walk across the street and strangle to death 3-year-old Brian Howe. Mary was convicted of manslaughter, declared a psychopath, and locked up for 12 years. She was released at the age of 23 and given an entire new identity to avoid her past. She is living somewhere right now and could even be your neighbor.
This is the creepy.
Imagine all that abuse resulted in you being like a murderer. I was gonna say a serial killer, but well, a child murderer to say the least. See the domino effect, the cause and the effect, man. Traumatized kids, traumatized people tend to, you know, transform and evolve into something else.
Story of the Candlejack. The Candlejack is a real spirit that still exists to this day. He wears dark clothing and has never shown his face. Whoever says his name becomes the property of the spirit. Anyone who has seen this spirit has gone insane and was later found with their eyes missing. This spirit is very real, and if you ever say his name, he will come after you.
This is why you should
Sounds
never
real
open your
stupid.
windows at night. A girl named Emma recently moved into a brand new house with her dad. She really missed her old house, but knew her dad got a new job and it would help the family a lot. Her dad told her to go upstairs and unpack her things to make her room feel more like home. Emma started unpacking and started putting some paintings up. Her dad opened the door and said, "Hey Emma, I'm leaving to go pick up some more stuff. You're going to be here on your own tonight." Emma said okay and continued decorating the room. A couple hours later, Emma got really sleepy and decided it was time for bed. She laid down facing the window and fell asleep. Suddenly, she woke up to the most horrible noise coming from the window. It sounded like 3 large booms. She laid there scared until it stopped. Her dad came home early in the morning and said, "Emma, I'm home." She said, "Dad, there was something at the window last night." He looked confused and opened the window, and then the horrible noise came again. Her dad looked at her and said, "Emma, did you open this window? It can only be opened from the inside."
This is why you should always change your locks. In 2017, a college girl woke up from a nightmare drenched in sweat and decided to rinse off before going back to sleep. She propped her phone on a shelf, turned on some music, and then hopped in the shower. A few minutes later, she reaches for her phone to change the song, but stops suddenly. Reflected on her phone's screen was a person standing in the middle of her bathroom facing the shower. She somehow kept her composure, turned the water to scalding hot, and then ripped open the curtain and sprayed the intruder in the face. As they howled in pain, she ran past them to her kitchen to get her butcher's knife. In a panic, she can't find her knife, so she just runs out of the apartment and calls the police. The police go in and come out with a crazy-looking woman in handcuffs.
The first thing I would have done is run out the apartment. I'm not finding a butcher's knife to try to defend myself. Now I'm dipping. I'm running.
Handcuffs. One of the officers comes over to the girl and says she used to live here and she had copies of your keys. Then he pauses and looks down and brings up a clear evidence bag that contained her butcher's knife, and he says, "Looks like she wanted her apartment back."
Yeah, she had the butcher's knife. Man, comment down below. A lot of these stories, man, they're kind of goofballish. They're kind of corny, to say the least. So some of them decent, but far and few in between, man. Comment down below. Check out my TikTok playlist, and we'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. We out.